Hello everyone, this is Ernesto with Aftershoot, and as you guys can already tell, I'm in a different scenario. I'm not sitting on my desk showing you guys some stuff on my computer because today we have a special video. I'm going to show you guys some lighting tips and techniques to shoot some portraits outside in this windy day, so we're going to do our best. So that's what the video is about. Let's start. Okay, so tip number one is even though I'm outside, it's not dark, it's day, I am going to shoot with a flash because I like to control my own lighting. I don't like depending on the position of the sun or how harsh the sun is gonna be or where to find shade or whatever. Even though it's a very, I don't know, cloudy day, I was hoping for a better day, but it's South Florida, so we can't control those things. I am still gonna use my flash, even though the clouds are gonna act like a softbox for the sun. But tip number one is always have a flash because you wanna be able to control your light rather than depend on the light outside. Okay, so we're gonna start with the photo shoot, and the first thing you gotta know is you gotta expose for your background. Before you bring your flash out, before you turn on the flash and start testing some flash shots, the first thing you gotta do is expose for your background so you know the background is good, and then you're only gonna bring the flash into the equation to give the model a little pop. In this case, the model is my beautiful wife, Antonella. Gorgeous, beautifully looking. By the way, I'm a boxer, long-time martial artist, so be careful in the comments. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna expose for the background, and later on I'm gonna bring the flash just to give her a little pop. Let's see the first photo. Okay, baby, look over here, perfect. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, as you guys can already see, I'm showing this on the screen. The photo is a little underexposed, but that's only because right here, I only care about the background. So now I'm gonna bring the flash into the equation to fill in whatever extra light she's missing in the front. So let's do that. I hope the wind doesn't kill my flash for some reason. Perfect. So as you guys can see, these photos here are different from the first one that was missing that little pop on the model. And that's because of what I told you. And that was tip number 2. Always expose first for the background and then just use your flash to fill in whatever light your model is missing. Let's keep on going. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that the sun is right there and my model is right here. And like I said, the clouds are acting like a sort of soft light, like a softbox. So I'm gonna use the sunlight to fill in this area of her face and body, and the flash to fill in the other area, so as to just not get any shadows in this photo. I like shadows in photos, but in this case, we're gonna do something different. So let's see how that works. Perfect. So I have some light coming from this direction. Like I said, that's where the sun's coming from, and the clouds are my softbox. And then I have some light coming from this direction to fill in the shadows on this area. I could technically just use that, but I'm gonna do a 2-light setup, which is tip number 2. You can use the sunlight as one of your lights, but also have a flash to be the other light, like a 2-light setup. Like I said, it could be your backlight, or it could be just like your main light, and this can be your field light. So use the sun. Okay, so this is another 2-light setup. Instead of having the sun as the main light and my flash as the field light, I'm going to have my flash as the main light, as the key light, and the sun that's coming from that direction is gonna be my hair light. As you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, it's just drawing and glowing on her hair right there. So I'm gonna take advantage of the sun, and then this is another 2-light setup. So as you guys can see, the sun is hitting her hair from the back, and the flash is acting like my main light for this photo. Okay, so tip number 4, the closer you have your main light to your subject, the harsher the shadows are gonna be, the blacker the blacks are gonna be. The further your main light is from your subject, your shadows are gonna get grayer, not as harsh. So if you want more contrast in your scene, in your portrait, then have your flash close to your subject. And if you want less contrast in your photos, then have your flash further away from your subject. The closer the flash is to the subject, the harsher the shadows are gonna be. I'm gonna show you right here. Look at me. Perfect. Perfect. So like I said, shadows here are darker than they're gonna be here because the flash is gonna be further from her. Now, of course, since the flash is further from her, yeah, the flash power is gonna have to increase because the distance is gonna require me to have more flash power. Ooh, don't fall, flash, don't fall. So now my shadows are not as harsh as in the first few images because the flash is further from her. Even though the power has to be greater because of the distance, it is the distance from the flash to the subject that gives you that extra contrast, extra pop. Bonus tip is go to the gym every now and then so you can carry all your equipment, because lenses and gear and flashes and stands tend to get a little heavy. So do some push-ups, some pull-ups, some squats, and then you can carry your own gear. The position of your light is very important. I always like to have my light positioned 45 degrees away from my subject or from my model and 45 degrees in inclination or elevation. That's how I like it. Okay, so like I said, if the flash was gonna be here and I'm standing here, then the flash would be 90 degrees away from the model. So I wanna have it at 45 degrees away from her because I'm gonna be here. That means there's 45 degrees here and 45 degrees over there. And then the inclination, the elevation is also 45 degrees. That's how I like to do my portraits, 45, 45. Degrees, 45 degrees. Okay, while we do this last photo, we're going to summarize everything we did today. Tip number 1 was to bring a flash, even though you're shooting outside. There's a lot of people that think that flashes are only for dark situations. No, flashes is to be able to control your light. And we want to control the light, not the light control us, you know? So tip number 2 was to expose for the environment first and then bring the flash into the equation, just to give your model a little pop. Even though your model might be taking selfies with her phone, you are going to bring the flash to give her a little pop. Tip number 3 was this 2-light setup, which means use the sun. Bringing your flash doesn't mean you're not gonna use the sun at all. You are going to use your environmental lighting, but you wanna have a flash to correct or fill whatever you don't have. Tip number 4 was about the distance. The closer the flash is to the subject, the more contrast you're gonna have. The further your flash is from your subject, the less contrast you're gonna have. And tip number 5 was 45, 45, which is what I always do. Well, thank you guys for watching. Those are some lighting tips and techniques I use when I shoot portraits outside. Don't forget to follow Aftershoot in all of our social media to have the latest information on what we have to offer. See you guys in the next one. Bye.